Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are we all doing on this Friday morning? Bloop. This is Reganelite here. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Good Morning with myself, Reganelite, here on Friday, the 16th of January, 2026 here. It is just gone 11 o'clock here in the morning, UK time, roughly here. Just for reference, we are live on youtube.com/Reganelite, and we're also on twitch.tv/Reganelite1 as well there. I see a lot of lovely people in the chat. I'll come to you guys in just a moment. For those who are new here to this live stream and what I tend to do, so this is the Good Morning Show I do every Monday to Friday from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock, and we give the daily quota. We have a look at the weather, what the weather forecasting is over the next couple of days, and then we also have a look at see what the media is talking about. Not so much the papers, but what websites and media are looking at. And there's actually two stories specifically I'm going to be showing you guys today that I've actually got to cover in short videos, but I wanted to share them with you now because I thought they were quite fascinating ones. For you guys. So today we're going to be looking at not just UK news but world news. So we're going to be looking at a variety of different web pages such as Al Jazeera, Sky News, The Guardian, Africa News, Independent, BBC, NBC News, Associated Press and whatnot. And we do this for about an hour, and then at 12 o'clock we stop. So if you guys are interested in seeing what some other news that perhaps maybe you don't always see in your papers or on TV might be of an interest to you guys there. And what else? If you haven't seen it, I'm just trying to remember everything. If you haven't seen it, I have put a post up just for reference, though. If you haven't seen the round table last night with myself, Dave McGuinness, Daily Blase, and Graham Price, Power to the People, please do check that out as well. It was a great show last night. And yes, my headache, my migraine is gone. For people who are curious, it has finally gone. Woke up with the migraine cleared. Well, my voice has taken a bit of a battering this morning because I've recorded short videos for the weekend as well as Monday. And at some point, I'm going to try and record today a video for my birthday on Sunday for you guys, which I plan to record. Probably will do a bit later on, probably around about 3-4 o'clock is when I'm going to try and record it. I want to record it before Friday Frolics goes on, but I'm going to let my voice rest after this live stream here for reference here. So before we get going, let me just have a look and see who's in the chat here. Viper Scott, good to see you there. Hope you're doing well, one of our moderators. Stephen Banker there, another one of our moderators. Good to see you guys. Hope you are both doing well. Ellie, good to see you there as well. Gillian, I hope I said your name correctly. Good morning to you. Hope you are doing well here. Yes, we are very Scottish friendly here. Absolutely we are. So welcome. Hope you enjoyed the show today. Robert, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well. John Bell, good morning to you as well there. Mel, good morning to you. Morning Ducks, a wrong link appeared to me. Regan's voice, but a black cat talking. Yes, that is the that's Daisy's funny stories. That's Daisy's funny stories there. But here is the ducky for you, Mel. Of course, we do have the ducky here. I have to show the ducky for Mel there because I know it's very important. We show that there. Scott Hayes, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well as well. Let me just scroll down just to see anybody else who's arrived. User, good to see you there as well. Margaret, good morning to you. First time listener, good to see you there. Hope you are doing well. And our friend Dave McGuinness, of course, as well. Good to see you, my friend, as well. Right, guys, let's get started. First and foremost, we have the daily quota. Here it is, guys. I always show the daily quota for those who are new here because I don't make them up. I did say yesterday it was one from Abraham Lincoln. I did say that. So here it is, guys. Here's today's daily quota from Abraham Lincoln. Whatever you are, be a good one. Whatever you are, be a good one. That is today's daily quota there. For the weekends, I'm actually going to share Saturdays and Sundays because we don't do a live stream for them. So I'm actually thinking of doing this. So for tomorrow's daily quota, guys, is turn your wounds into wisdom. Turn your wounds into wisdom. That is tomorrow's one from Oprah Winfrey there for tomorrow's one for reference there. And for my birthday, one on my birthday, which I won't be sharing, won't be able because I don't do them all live streams on the weekends. The 18th of January, Alice Walker on Sunday here. It's a very nice one. The most common way people give up their power is by thinking that they don't have any. The most common way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. And there it is, guys, for Sunday on my birthday there, just for reference there. So hope you guys found them interesting, and we will share Monday's one on Monday's Good Morning Show. So I think I should share Saturdays and Sundays here with you guys going forward as well as a reference. So let's have a look and see what's happening with the weather, guys. For those who are curious to know where I get that daily quote, it should be under the descriptions, called pennylittlethoughts.com. If you guys are interested in having one for yourself, it's very, very cool. There's also like joke of the day sort of thing, ones like that as well. So if you wanted like a funny joke as well every day to wake up to, it's also pretty. There's also those options as well. There's lots of those cool little novelty things. They can just, you know, kind of make your day a little bit more interesting or much better. Those kind of little things there. So for those who are wondering what I'm using here, this is the bbc.co.uk/weather map for reference here. I've set it to Friday at 6 o'clock for reference. This is our big, beautiful planet Earth here. Now we'll look at some of the temperatures and some of the wind gauges across our planet here. We will look at Europe and UK in just a moment. As we can see, guys, Yellowknife in Canada, don't go there. -32, far too cold now, far too cold there. Anchorage there at 1 degrees in Alaska. Whew, they got quite a snowstorm there. And for other parts of America and Canada there, Vancouver 9, San Francisco 4. Ottawa -14. New York there at 2 degrees. Miami has lost its temperatures, dropping to 17 degrees. Not as toasty as they claim to be all the time, are they? Mexico City 17 there. No changes in much in temperatures in South America, but there's still plenty of rain dropping around in parts there. You can see nice toasty 30, 31, 29 degrees as you expect on the South American continent there. Almost said South African continent there. Looking across to Africa here, both in the middle and the southern Africa there. Again, nice warm temperatures, but not too much rain forecast there, as you can see. But they still got 29 Lagos there, very warm indeed. Cape Town 19 there, just for reference there. Going right across to the other side of the planet. On Auckland, New Zealand there at 19 degrees. Sydney 21, Perth 19, and Darwin 26. We're going to touch on a story in Australia, actually. I've had an update with regards to the social media ban, which is what we're going to talk about today as well. Philippines there, a very warm 25 degrees, but they experienced their fair share of weather storms there. Tokyo, 5 degrees. Beijing, -6. Tokyo, Japan have been experiencing their fair share of snowstorms, as they normally do during this time. But looks like they got a bit of a dry spell at the moment, which is pretty good for them. Colombo 25, New Delhi 9 there. Other parts of the Middle East here we can see going away from Asia into the Middle East there. Kuwait City 12, Riyadh 12, Tehran very cold 1, Baghdad 7, Cairo 16 there. Tisbili -1 there. Port Sudan at 24 there. Before we go to Europe, let's have a look at our friends up in Iceland, how they are doing it today. -2 degrees. Not as bad as other days. But it's still cold nonetheless there. Murmansk there, -10 as well. I always like to showcase some of the colder places on our planet there. It's fascinating indeed. Right, let me just set this right here. Here we go. Here is Europe here. Just for reference. So we've got Madrid 7, Lisbon 11. Parts of rain and snow in mostly Spain. Looks like most of Portugal is pretty much dry from the looks of it there. On the North African continent there, on the edge there, Tripoli 15 there, Algiers 13, Tunis 14 there. Italy, Palermo 13, Rome 11, and Nice 3 there, with some dry spells in Italy there. In the Swiss Alps, they have Bern at 2 degrees there, with possible some snow. But it looks like it's dissipating away as the day passes on from the looks of it there. Zagreb 4, Vienna 2, Prague 1, very cold indeed, but not as cold as you go further east of Europe. Tiaria 11 there, Athens 14, some snowstorms in Turkey. We've got Istanbul at 5, Ankara 4 there. You can see the Black Sea covered in their fair share of snow there, of course. Budapest -6, Chistu -10, Kiev at -15. Of course, it's not very good time for Ukraine, not just the conflict, but obviously the cold temperatures. And Russia, of course, trying to sabotage their energy infrastructure to try and freeze Ukrainian citizens and its army out there. Warsaw -5 there as well. Volgograd -12. Moscow, very cold, -11 as well. St. Petersburg at -12 there. Some very cold temperatures in the Eastern Europe, as you would expect during this time of year. Brussels 8 and Paris at 9 degrees. Coming to the UK here today. There we go, it's just updated there. So this is what we got at the moment. It's what we're expecting right now with what you should be expecting. Most of the UK pay mainly dry, but there are some snow and showers in parts there. Scotland's got some snow and oh, excuse me, got some snow and rain up in the middle there. Very cold at 2 degrees is what they're forecasting there. Belfast and Dublin 7 and 8 degrees respectively there. Manchester 7, Cardiff 7, London 9 there. But if we move further on, we can see those temperatures. Not really too much of a change there. Still very cold temperatures up in the north. But most for the rest of the UK is still cold, but obviously not as cold there. But moving into tonight there, as we can see, that there is this rainstorm that's here. That's appearing here. Parts of Northern Ireland is also going to be getting it. There will be shades in parts of Scotland also there. But it looks like we're maybe getting a bit of a dry night for most parts of the UK here. Going into the next day here, we can just have a look for the weekend ahead. 5, 6, 2, 6 and 5 degrees. This is what temperatures are forecasting overnight tonight. So looks like England and Wales are not going to have, and Northern Ireland not going to have too bad temperatures there, but Scotland looks like -2, so it's going to be much chillier up north. But there is going to be some rain dropping overnight. So southern Scotland, northern England, Midlands and parts of south of England is going to be experiencing some rain. Northern Ireland there is also going to be experiencing its fair share from the looks of it there. Moving up into Saturday morning, those temperatures are still remaining around roughly around about the same. Rain and shower storms are expecting on Saturday morning in parts of Scotland, parts of the Midlands and north of England there we can see. Still some in Northern Ireland and Ireland respectively there. Temperatures increase a little bit going into lunchtime there. Highest looks like it's going to be 6 degrees in Edinburgh. London 10, Cardiff 9, Manchester 9, Dublin 8 and Belfast 8 respectively there. Edinburgh 6. Moving a bit further on into tomorrow evening there, we can see that rain and snow is still not going away. So parts of Scotland are going to be experiencing quite a consistent bit of rain there, which is kind of annoying. Temperatures dropping a little bit in some parts, but again, nothing too much that we haven't already experienced. 8, 6, 7, 6 and 6 and 4 there. Moving overnight though, it looks like we'll start to get some dry spells Saturday evening there, overnight into Sunday morning there. And we can see those temperatures there going overnight. So this is what they're forecasting. Not really any rain or snow overnight. There may be tiny shade in parts of southern England, but that's about it. Edinburgh 2, Belfast, Dublin and Belfast and Dublin 5 and 5, Manchester 5, Cardiff 5, London 7 respectively there. But into Sunday morning, it looks like there's a big puddle of water coming in, hitting parts of Wales and England respectively there. Looks like a dry spell possibly Sunday morning for Scotland there. Yeah, that rainstorm is coming up here. It looks like there's going to be some possible snow in northern parts of England. Most of Wales is going to be experiencing some rainstorms early Sunday morning there as well. Then a bit further on into Sunday lunchtime. It's like parts of southern Scotland going to experience some rain there. Temperatures still remaining roughly around about the same there. So we've got 5, 7 degrees is there from the looks of it there. But moving a bit further on, that's rain and possibly snow is going to be hitting parts of Scotland later on in the evening there. But the rest of the UK, it looks like it's going to get some dry spells there. Edinburgh 4, Belfast and Dublin 6 and 6, Manchester 7, Cardiff 6, London 8. Temperatures are going to be staying roughly around about the same, pretty much, for the next couple of days from the looks of it there. Moving into Monday, we'll have a look at Monday and then we'll have a look at some of the news here. Yeah, overnight on Monday there, it looks like, yeah, there may be some of that rain is still be there. Temperatures aren't as bad as it has been other days overnight. Yes, they are still cold, but it's not as cold as been other days. I think it's fair to say they're looking at these temperatures here. They're obviously Edinburgh 3, still very cold up in Scotland, but not as colder there than in the other parts of the UK still. Belfast 6, Dublin 7, Manchester 6, Cardiff 6, London 7 there on Monday morning. Monday morning there. But just looking a little bit on Monday, see what we're expecting there. 6, 7, 8 degrees. Looks like some increasing temperatures there. Looking good for lunchtime there. Bit further into London, into Monday evening there. Some shades of showers, but a lot of parts of it will also remain dry there. So some dry spells as well. No big storms. Looks like it's forecast for Monday there. We'll just have a quick look at Tuesday, see what that's looks like there. And it looks like there's going to be looks like there's this big storm coming on the left-hand side. And looks like that's going to be hitting Tuesday evening there from the looks of it. So we'll have a look at that on Monday, see how that develops, because that's obviously subject to change. There's a couple of days between now and then. but it looks like we're going to be getting more rain, looks like forecast here. Not sure about any snow potentially where I am, but there is some shades of snow in parts coming around there. So most of the temperatures staying roughly around about the same over the weekend. There will be some showers and spots here and there as you would expect. There may be some dry spells depending on where you're living in the UK there. As for those up in Scotland, it'll be much colder there than the rest of the UK, but that is to be expected. My advice is if you don't take a brolly, take one. If you don't have a brolly, take a raincoat. Just to be on the safe side, I would say whatever your plans are for the weekends, even if you're in an area where there doesn't likely forecast of rain, there is also a chance that it could still happen where you are there for reference. Right, so I wanted to share two interesting stories that I actually found while I was recording my short videos. And both these stories are going to be coming out as short videos, but I wanted to share them with you guys before because I wanted to kind of dive into them and get you guys' thoughts on these here. Good morning, Witchy Goth. Hope you are doing well. Do check out Witchy Goth's YouTube channel if you guys get a chance to do so as well. Unquiet Badger, good to see you there as well. Flox, good to see you there as well. Good morning, Robert, as well. Let's make sure I haven't missed anybody. I don't think I've missed anyone. But hope you guys are all doing well. If I haven't said good morning, hello. Right, so this is the first story. This is one I've said a couple of days ago that I wanted to see kind of how Australia had been since the social media platform, since they banned social media for children. So this is the latest news from this, guys, from the Associated Press here. They got the headline of social media platforms remove 4.7 million accounts after Australia banned them for children. So let me share a bit more insight before I give my thoughts. So social media companies have revoked access to about 4 million accounts identified as belonging to children in Australia since the country banned the use of the platform by those under 16, officials have said. We've stared down everybody who said it couldn't be done. Some of the most powerful and rich companies in the world and their supporters, the communications minister had told reporters on Friday. And now Australian parents can be confident that their kids can have their childhood's backs. The figures reported to Australia's government by 10 social media platforms were the first to show the scale of the landmark ban since it was enacted in December, over fears about the effect of harmful online environments on young people. The law provoked fraught debate in Australia about technology use, privacy, child safety and mental health, and has prompted other countries to consider similar measures. We'll get to the UK in a bit because there is a story on the UK as well, guys. So, under Australia's law, Facebook, Instagram, Kik, Reddit, Snapchat, Threads, TikTok, X, YouTube and Twitch face fines of up to 49.5 million Australian dollars if they fail to take reasonable steps to remove the accounts of Australian children younger than 16. Messaging services such as WhatsApp and Facebook are exempt. To verify age, platforms can either request copies of identification documents, use a third party to apply age estimation technology to an account holder's face, or make interferences from data already available, such as how long the account has been held. About 2.5 million Australians are aged between 8 and 15, and the country's e-safety commissioner, Julian Imran-Grant, and past estimates suggest 84% of 8 to 12-year-olds had held social media accounts. It was not known how many accounts were held across the 10 platforms, but Imran-Grant said the figure of 4.7 million deactivated or restricted was encouraging. We're preventing predatory social media companies from accessing our children, Imran-Grant has said. So far, 4.7 million have been taken off social media as a direct result of this. But here's the significant thing, right? The thing that really, which is why my position was always kind of like, I wasn't 100% sure if I was going to really back this, because I wasn't sure if I could really go for this. And my position has kind of changed based on this, guys. And I think, yeah, this is something we should definitely do. I think this is something we should definitely do in the UK. Now, the main reason why I think we should definitely consider this is I think, yeah, it shows that when push comes to shove on these social media companies, they will bow to pressure. And we've seen right here, if you threaten them enough, they will bow to pressure. And this is a great example of it. Now, obviously, we know, one of the big stories, with regards to social media, has obviously been with Grok and in the indecent images it's been posting on X, and Elon Musk has finally backed down on that from the sounds of it. They're looking to they're looking to take measures. We don't know what they are, but they are backing down from the threats of the UK government on that. They look like they're taking more measures to do that because they don't want to be banned in the UK from the looks of it there, which is a good thing because obviously any kind of indecent images of men, women or children being depicted by an AI bot on the social media platform is absolutely unacceptable and disgusting. And I think everyone here agrees with that. But we're talking here in this instance here, we're talking about obviously children having access to social media. Not so much my position about access to the internet, but social media here. And social media is very much and a very addictive, time-consuming thing that takes away their time when they could be doing so many more things with their lives at a young age. And it does decry me a lot when I see children spending far too much time looking at their phones, looking at their tablets, when they could be doing so many other things. And there is nothing wrong with having children having a tablet or playing playing video games and whatnot. But there is a management that needs to be had here. There needs to be a control here. And social media is extremely dangerous in its sense of, for me, I could switch off from all the kids and everything, whenever school was over, right? Kids don't have that opportunity anymore. They are dealt with them all the time. You take social media away from young children, when they come home from school, they don't have to worry about bullies chasing after them still on social media anymore and whatnot, because they don't have that anymore. You don't have them following you and causing things on Facebook or wherever it is as well. And I think I think from a mental health perspective as well as their education, I think that's a good thing. And the fact that so far 4.7 million have been removed, that shows just how serious the social media companies are saying. And I think that there needs to be control. And I think, because I don't see any other way around this apart from taking them off social media. It's highly addictive. And it can, and as I'm sure you guys agree with me, and I've spoken many times on this platform for those who have been here a long time about my mental health, I think this is really significant here. Let me just see if you guys are saying anything about this. No one's commented on this yet, but let me know what you guys think about this story. Just for reference, this I will be dropping this short video on Monday. I think I'll be dropping on Monday, just a short video for it. But I wanted to share this story because I think it's quite significant there, just for reference. I will come back to Associated Press in a bit. I wanted to share another interesting, a very concerning story as well, coming from Middle Eastern Eye. And I wonder how many Christians in the United States will stand up with regards to their Christian brothers and sisters here. So Christian schools in Jerusalem are suspending classes to protest at Israeli restrictions. So Israel is imposing restrictions on work permits for teachers from the West Bank, leading to disruptions for thousands of students. So, we know that there's discrimination between Israel on Palestinians by Israelis in the West Bank as well as in Gaza. We're fully aware of all that. How much of this in terms of Christians being targeted? Well, there was some, but it's getting worse and worse. This is getting worse and worse here for them. So Christian schools in Jerusalem have announced escalating protest measures, including the suspension of classes and a mass strike in rejection of what they consider arbitrary Israeli policies that have disrupted the work of hundreds of teachers. These steps come after Israel imposed restrictions on work permits for teachers from the West Bank, leading to disruptions in the education sector. The denial of permits have deprived schools of essentially teaching staff, directly impacting thousands of students in Jerusalem. More than 12,000 students are educated in 15 Christian schools in Jerusalem. These schools employ 820 teachers and staff, including 235 who hold West Bank ID cards issued by the Palestinian Authority. They reach their workplace with entry permits to Israel, which are renewed at the beginning of each academic term. At the start of the new school term, the Israeli civil administration refused to renew the permits of some teachers and placed others under review, while issuing third category permits only for certain days of the week. So this is them trying to restrict, essentially, the teachings of Christianity. They're trying to restrict it, essentially. But they're not going to say that. And what's the reason for reducing this? Do they have a legitimate reason? So, Imran Fadis, principal of the TRS Santia School in Jerusalem, told Middle East Eye that Christian schools were scheduled to resume classes on Saturday for the second term after the Christmas break, but Israel prevented 235 teachers from the West Bank from obtaining full permits. Why? Most of the teachers are from the West Bank don't have full permits, meaning they are prohibited from entering the city on Saturdays, the days where Christian schools are open. A permit must cover the entire week, he said. That sounds deliberate, doesn't it? According to Fatis, this is the first time permits have been withheld and teachers have been treated in this manner. Despite promises to resolve the crisis, some teachers have still been denied full permits. Quote, this is a major challenge, adding to many others facing schools in Jerusalem, including the curriculum, shortage of teaching staff, and significant difficulties, he added. We cannot find replacement teachers because the teachers from the West Bank have over 20 years of experience. We're also talking about 235 families whose livelihoods are threatened. Besides the high level of education they provide, Jerusalem Christian schools are amongst the oldest, most prestigious, and most important schools affiliated with all the churches in the city without exception, he said. So, have Israel got an excuse here? Let me see. Shall we? Do they have a comment here? Let's see. Has Israel actually responded to this piece? What is happening in these schools is that Israel wants to make them subordinate to one administration, which is the Israeli Ministry of Education, in order to change the mentality and culture and take full control of future generation. It is fighting all Arab cultures in Jerusalem, apparently. Yeah, that sounds more like it. What it is. Yeah, they want to control, obviously, the future of all people in Israel, in the West Bank. So I wanted to share that. I thought that was a story worth sharing with you guys as well there. So obviously we're going to go to The Guardian, one of the biggest stories, and we touched on it last night. We touched on it literally as it was happening yesterday morning as well. Here, this is from as well. Genric's replacement admits Tories let down the country, but says public are sick of the backstabbing. So the new Justice Secretary Nick Montgomery said he was sorry for how the Conservatives handled certain things in the last few years in power. The fact that someone has actually said sorry is quite big, because the word sorry is not a vocabulary that comes out of the Conservative Party. But do they generally mean that, guys? I don't think so. Benjamin, good morning to you. Hope you are doing well there. What else has they got here? Enough already. Genric's defection gets mixed reception from Reform members. So there's some mixed reception. Some supporters are concerned about the number of Conservatives being welcomed by their party in fear it would alienate voters. Of course it will. Of course it will. Because if there's a lot of people who don't follow politics at all. All right? There's a lot of people who don't follow politics, and they will not realise that a lot of these people are ex-Conservatives. But once people start learning, if you start telling Reform voters and they start realising a lot of these are all part of the Conservative establishment, yeah, they will start saying, huh? Why is Nigel Farage doing this? Why is he doing this? Why is he hiring so many Conservatives? Now, Farage is trying to frame it as not just Conservatives, but lots of different former politicians. Which the kind of problem is that, well, they're taking too many Conservatives here. And the argument, obviously, coming from Nigel Farage is that his party is inexperienced in government. So they're trying to get experienced people in government. The problem is all the people who've had experience in government are all Conservatives. So it's kind of like, huh? Yeah. So that's kind of the framing that they're trying to do here. So they're trying to frame it as, look, they can't go into government without any experience behind them. So they're trying to grab as many experienced politicians as they can. The problem is that a lot of them are the same lot who basically left the UK in a mess after 14 years of power, and that's the problem. Because a lot of people didn't vote Conservative because they were tired and they wanted something new. The problem is that a lot of those same people are now in Reform. So it's pretty much as we've discussed last night and yesterday, pretty much conservative B team, literally. Yeah, if Reform UK was officially celebrating Robert Jenrick's defection to the Nigel Farage party, the reaction of the rank and file was an altogether more complicated one, ranging from jubilation to despair that yet another Tory was coming on board. Enough already, Reform UK, please take note. You are going to lose members and voters if you don't cap this craziness. We don't want a Tory party part 2. That was the early response from James Scott, one of the number of members expressing their unhappiness in one of the largest private Reform Facebook groups. After the Conservative leader, Kemi Nagnott, broke the news that she was sacking her long-time rival from the front bench and taking away the party whip for plotting, another Reform member commented, "Don't do it, Nigel. If Jenrick joins Reform, I am done. I am done, and I'm a member of the party and will leave immediately." Did he leave immediately, guys? What do you think? Yet such hostility from Jenrick to Reform members appeared still to be in the minority, with the bulk of contributions to the same group and others rubbing their hands at the prospect of Reform chalking up its most senior Tory recruit yet. We always wanted Jenrick in the Reform Party. He's a seasoned veteran of Parliament. One wrote on a private Facebook forum used by members. "Fantastic news. I'm losing count of how many potential great future leaders are now in Reform," says Paul Rayner, posting on a public group established to celebrate Nigel Farage. Speculation that the ambitious right-winger could be about to ditch the Tories has been a long favourite topic across Reform social media groups, branch, meeting and bar get-togethers. When it came, it took memberships by surprise, especially given that they had been used to laughing as their leader ridiculed the previously Remains supporting MP as Robert Generic. Reform's front-runner elected representatives at some of the councils now controls were no different. Among those on Nottinghamshire's County Council was one of several that the party took control of last year's local elections in an area where Jenrick is an MP. There was a trepidation about making any comments from several contacted by The Guardian. Most of the councillors were reluctant to go on the record, but a general view was that Jenrick would be welcome, and one of the Conservative Party's most adherent right-wingers, even one known for their ambition, would fit in. So, yeah, there is obviously some mix. There is some mix, but mainly it's minority according to The Guardian there. But there are some Reform voters that will take him on board, but there's others that are not there. Has the demonic black eyes in the picture reminds me of Captain Black there? Oh, I see what you mean there with the way Jenrick's eye is there. Yeah, I see what you mean. I see what you mean there. So AI will transform the human job and enhance skills, says Science Minister. Enhance skills. Transform the human job. You mean take away jobs is what you're meant to say there. Pretty much everything is on what happened yesterday. Tory defectors who has already joined Reform and who may follow. Shall we have a look at the numbers here? For those who have already gone, so we got Lee Anderson, Nadine Dorris, Danny Kruger, Nadine Zawari. Those who may yet go, Jacob Rees-Mogg could be one. Brandon Lewis, the Northern Ireland Secretary. Suella Braverman could potentially be one. Katie Liam, Conservative for Weed of Kent there. Tim Montgomery as well as another potential there as a couple of... So there's just a couple of names of those who may go there. I think you said it was... I can't remember how many it is. No, that's the U-turns. 13 is the U-turns that Labour have done. But yeah, the list of defectors from former MPs. But this is actually bigger because, of course, he's a sitting MP in a shadow cabinet position here. So that's obviously quite it's quite significant, really. There, it's actually appeared on international media news as well, just for reference. Any other stories from The Guardian before we have a look at some other news? Is here top 2 executives at City and Guilds Place on leave. Water restored to most Kent and Sussex homes after 6 days disruption. Up to 30,000 customers in South East Water had no supply and low pressure in the height of the incident. Water has been restored to most homes across Kent and Sussex after almost a week of disruption. So it looks like some residents are still facing hosepipe bans and flood warnings. On Friday, SEW's incident manager said water supplies have been restored to 6,500 affected properties in Tunbridge Wells area, but some customers could experience low pressure as the water levels built up in the pipeline network. Okay, so they have made some ground today from the sounds of it, but it's still not enough. Still not enough from them. TikTok to strengthen age verification technology across the EU. Move comes as calls for Australia-style social media plan for under 16s grows around the world. So TikTok will begin to roll out new age verification technology across the EU in the coming weeks as calls for Australia-style ban for under 16s, including the UK. I'll come to that story in there. So TikTok and other major platforms popular with young people such as YouTube coming under increasing pressure to better identify and remove access belonging to children. The system, which has been quietly piloted in the EU over the past year, analyzes profile information, posted videos, and behavioral signals to predict whether an account may belong to a user under the age of 13. Interesting. I think that's where we're heading, guys. We're heading in that direction. I think we're heading in that direction there. BP accused of insidious influence on UK education through science museum links. That's not good at all. All right, we've spent too much time with The Guardian. Let's switch gears and see what else is happening. Let me come out of that. Obviously, one of the big news coming out of the Associated Press of, take me to the front page, please. Thank you. If I said good morning to everyone there, it looks like, oh, good morning, Sky Limits. Hope you are doing well there. Thoughts on the latest news on Russia considering using nuclear weapons against NATO allies such as Germany and the UK. I've heard those threats many times. I keep hearing them all the time there, to be fair. I don't think they will. Yeah, I agree with Stephen Banker. I keep hearing, it's not really something to really, like, they keep making that threat all the time, Putin. Right, federal immigration agents filmed dragging a woman from a car in Minneapolis. I've even heard a story which is even more frightening with what's happening in Minneapolis, guys. They, one person had their child held at ransom by ICE agents, basically telling the woman to come out of their house if they want their child back, so that they can verify who she is and whatnot, which is absolutely effing disgusting. There, Trump obviously threatens the Insurrection Act as well. But yeah, this kind of footage is unfortunately is now happening on a daily basis. What you're seeing, that imagery there is a daily basis now, and there doesn't seem to be any end in sight there. It's absolutely a horrible situation right now for them. Venezuela's Machiko said she presented her Nobel Peace Prize to Trump during their meeting. No, she gave the Nobel Peace Prize to Donald Trump. Oh dear, guys, she gave the Nobel Peace Prize. She actually did it. She actually gave her Nobel Peace Prize to Donald Trump. Oh my God. Is there a picture? Is there a picture? Please tell me there's a picture. Oh, there's no picture. Oh. Said she presented her Nobel Peace Prize medal to President Donald Trump at the White House. As she even questioned her, as he has questioned her credibility to take over the country, and then the ousted President Nicolas Maduro. She's the Nobel Institute has said Machado could not give her prize to Trump, an honor that he has coveted, even if it is the gesture proves it to be purely symbolic. The Nobel Institute said you shouldn't be doing that. It was extraordinary given to Trump has effectively sidelined Machado, who has long been the face of his signal willingness to work with the acting president, who has been Murado's second in command. Dear, oh dear. Desperation from her. Absolutely. Oh, I wish I had a photo. Apparently there's supposed to be, like, because it was yesterday, there must be a photo of it. So I actually have heard, actually, believe it or not, right? So apparently there were no concessions. There was no concessions on, she hasn't been given guaranteed anything, even though she's given Trump the Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah. Just absolutely insane. Yeah, what a stupid move. I know, it's so dumb. She thinks, like the thing is, it's like, you know what she should say is, she knows what she should say is, like, whatever, you know what she should say? Generally, what she should, I don't know what she said in the meeting with Trump, but I would have said, right, if I was in her position, which I wouldn't, I'd be mad to, but I would say, I'd like to increase the value of the petrodollar, using Venezuela's oil, like 100% of it. Yeah, I wouldn't trust this Murado regime. They might change it at a whim. You can't trust them. You can trust me, because I work for the CIA, allegedly. Ah, dear, oh dear. Cuba honors soldiers killed in Venezuela and other top fighters from Latin America and the Caribbean. The US want to remake Venezuela's oil industry. History stands in the way of that. Canada agrees to cut tariffs on Chinese EVs in return for lower tariffs on Canadian farm products. That's good cooperation between Canada and China there. That was good for them. Greenlanders talk about Trump's desire to own their Arctic island. There's a very simple answer to that. F off. Trump's Gaza ceasefire plan faces great uncertainty as it moves into a new phase. Moves into a new phase, or has it just stayed the same? What do you mean moves into a new phase here? White House said it's moving to the second phase of Donald Trump's ceasefire, bringing a new life proposal. Broke the news on Wednesday in the Post on X saying that the new phase will include the establishment of transitional the committee, yes, of course, disarming of Hamas and reconstruction. But the key announcements include few details about new Palestinian committee or other aspects of the plan. Trump's 20-point plan, which was approved by the UN Security Council, lays out an ambitious vision of ending Hamas rule in Gaza. If successful, it will see the rebuilding of demilitarized Gaza under international supervision, normalization of relations between Israel and the Arab world, and the creation of a possible pathway to Palestinian independence. So this is tracking the ceasefire. Hostages are returned. Yeah, there's still some bodies that have not been completely returned. Palestinian prisoners are released. Nope, they're not going to do that. Aid entering Gaza. Israel not going to do that. International Stabilization Force. Not sure about that. Temporary Transitional Government. Not sure about that. Hamas disarms. Hamas are not going to disarm. Hamas are not going to disarm there. Hamas has not given up its weapons. Hamas has given members give up weapons. Give amnesty for those who wish safe passage to receive country there. Yeah. Large-scale reconstruction of Gaza hasn't started. Yeah, because they're not allowing aid in there. Upon accepting of agreements of full entry of aid into Gaza. By the way, they still don't allow international. Israel still does not allow international journalists into Gaza as well. No reason whatsoever. No reason whatsoever. Yeah, I'm very skeptical of Trump's peace plan there. Mummified cheetah found in Saudi cave sheds lights on lost population. Wow, interesting. Most watched video shows moment California protester is hit in the face with a projectile by federal police officers. We're not playing that, guys. Sorry. I know some people wanted me to play it. I'm not playing that. White House says Trump was joking as he repeatedly talks about cancelling midterm elections. He's not joking. He wants to cancel elections. He says he's saying, "What's the point of elections? I'm in charge now. It's all fine, guys. Well, it's all fine now. We don't need elections. I'm in charge now." That's the way he sees it. That's the way he sees it. We don't need elections anymore. I'm in charge now. We don't need any more elections. Back in the UK, this is from Sky News. Bagnall is 100% confident no more shadow members will join Reform. 100% confident, guys. 100% confident. What did she do to get that ironclad guarantee, right? She should have said 99.9%, so that when one of them drops out, she could say, well, there was a 1% chance it could happen. But now she said 100%. Oh. Interesting. And but remember, and here she's saying shadow cabinet. She's not saying other Conservative MPs there. Bagnall turned the crisis into an opportunity, but reform problems aren't over. Nope, they're not. No tears in Tory party over Jeremy Corbyn, ex-Scottish Conservative leader says. So here's the next. Well, I thought the next U-turn was going to be on jury service of what they're planning to do with reduction of jury service in the criminal justice system. But it may be this instead, guys. So Labour MPs anticipate a politically inept U-turn on social media ban. The government has been reluctant to support a ban, but is facing pressure from both its own MPs and the Conservatives. So yeah. So Dave McGuinness touched on it last night on the roundtable that, you know, essentially that the Labour government are being bullied by its MPs now because there's not really, and Keir Starmer's practically a figurehead. It's very, very much feels like that at the moment, considering the amount of U-turns they've got, and considering the benefits of banning social media for under 16s, the pressure is ramping up, and the Conservatives have made it quite clear that they're going to do this. And a lot of Labour MPs are kind of inclined on this too. So the logic is there at this point, and that's why I wanted to share with you guys what's happened in Australia since then. As I said, 4.7 million people, million children have been taken off social media as a direct result of it. That's quite significant. So, dozens of Labour MPs are pushing ministers to adopt an Australian-style ban. Sky News has been told many expect the government will move on the issue, following pressure from the Parliamentary Labour Party and the Conservatives. So you've got the PLP here doing this. But this is the significant part, guys. So peers have tabled an amendment to the Children's Wellbeing and School Bills, which will regulate social media platforms to use highly effective age-assuring measures to prevent children under 16 from accessing services. This is expected to be voted on in the House of Lords on Wednesday, when the bill begins its report stage in the upper chamber. It has cross-party support, including the backing of former Labour MP turned peer Laura Bengard and former Conservative Education Minister Lord John Dash. Excuse me. If passed, it provides a way for it to be debated in the Commons. One Labour MP told Sky News that there was no way the government could whip the PLP against, claiming the majority are in favour of the ban, and Number 10 will want to avoid another welfare-style rebellion. They said they expect the government to back a ban, but laminate the political ineptitude of being on the back foot to the Conservatives on the issue, after they pledged to ban our social media for under 16s last week. And this puts the Conservatives in a very good spot here in terms of the policy, because they've made it clear we would ban it. And you can say that because you're sitting on the opposition there. Good morning, personally. I hope you are doing well. I just want to remind people as well, if you guys want to support the work that I do on this channel in any way, shape or form, do consider buying me a coffee or joining the Patreon. Links for both of them are in the description. While I'm currently demonetized, I am still trying to resolve the issue. But if you guys want to financially support me in the work that I do on this channel, do consider one of those two options. It'd be greatly appreciated. And if you do one of those two options, your name gets added to the list that's being scrolled on the scroll bar that you see down below here. Any amount makes a big difference. So thank you if you do, guys. It's really, really appreciated. So the amendment in the Lords was put down before Christmas, but Tory insiders are hopeful it can be used to their advantage to force Sir Keir Starmer into another policy shift. Labour MPs told Sky News that dozens of backbenchers are pushing the government to move to a ban, and they don't think it will come to a rebellion, as the government will do it. Some MPs are pushing for the government to table its own amendment that they can get behind, which would promise to at least consult on an Australian-style ban. But another MP said that they were sick of consultations and the government should just get on with it. So many Labour MPs have been vocal in calling for a ban, as well as Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham, who many expect could launch a leadership challenge against Sir Keir Starmer in the future. So this is what I think here. I think the fact that Labour are pushing this behind says this is going to happen in the UK. We are going to see a ban on social media for under 16s here. I think that is literally inevitable at this point here. I think that's going to happen. It looks like it's definitely going to happen of some sorts here. No tears. What else has the Sky News have got here? An exclusive here. Why this could be the final nail in the coffin for an industry that was once pride of UK's economy there. Interesting exclusive there. Not going to go into it because it'll go too long. Terrible tragedy. 2 people have died in a house fire. It's just been reported there as well. Breaking news. Nurses in transgender row suffer harassment from NHS Trust. A tribunal has ruled. Darlington nurses went to a tribunal over a policy that allowed their transgender colleagues, Rose Howell, to use a female changing room. An employment tribunal has delivered its judgment in a case of a group of nurses who complained about a transgender colleague's use of a female changing room. The tribunal found that nurses from Darlington Memorial Hospital suffered harassment from their NHS Trust with the effect of violating the dignity of the claimants and creating a hostile, intimidating, humane, and degrading environment for them. Nurse took County Down and Darlington NHS to an employment tribunal under a policy that allowed their colleagues, Rose Henderson, who was born male but identified as a woman, to use the facilities. She had used the room since starting at the hospital as a student in 2019. The complaints from other nurses began in 2023. Women were in distress. Their dignity and privacy was being violated. Daphne Hutchinson, one of the nurses who brought the case, had told Sky News. Women should be allowed to have single-sex, particularly when you're just about to start a shift. Oh, for God's sake. I've said this before, and I've said this again. They are not going in. Everyone uses the bloody bathroom for the same bloody reason, to do their business. Nature's calling. Absolutely ridiculous. Another stupid woman. I'm sorry, I have to say that. Who are making up this fabricated story that transgender women or transgender men are coming after them in their toilets when they've been there and used them ever since the last 10, 20, 30 bloody years, and all of a sudden it's now a problem for them when they've done absolutely nothing. Like, show me an instant where a trans woman or a trans man has caused problems in the bathroom apart from doing their business. Absolute ridiculous. I'm so sick of that sick of it. I really, really am, guys. Sorry, just 1 second. I just need to check. I haven't put the tab up here. We all want our names on a list, just not the Epstein one, says Flock. I don't think anyone there. Peter Mandelson was in the Epstein files, wasn't he? He did finally apologize. I think he did finally apologize for it. For some reason, I can't pull up the coffee app, so I don't know if anyone's bought me any coffees or not. But honestly, if anyone does, please do let me know in the comments. Let's have a look at Al Jazeera here. We've got 9 minutes left. All lies. Palestinians slam U.S. ceasefire plans amid the deadly Gaza attack. Palestinians expressed doubt, so for phase 2 amid unfulfilled obligations. Yep, that's absolutely true. Israel have not fulfilled their parts of obligations there. 2 killed in Israel attacking southern Lebanon. People are still getting killed by Israel. Palestinians skeptical as US announced second phase of ceasefire. UNIFIL says Israel drones drop explosives near peacekeepers in Lebanon. Yep, because they don't care. They're still doing that as well. Outrageous. Gulf countries gear up diplomacy to starve off US-Iran escalation. Gulf nations don't want the chaos that a US attack on Iran or the collapse of the Islamic Republic generate. This is what I said would happen. The Gulf countries stepped in and told basically Trump and the US to back off for Iran. That's essentially what they did there. They basically told them to back off, and Trump's obliged. So well done to the Gulf nations for stepping in there. That was really important, I mean, I don't like what's happening in Iran is absolutely terrible for their citizens, but the US should not intervene. Regain momentum sets Yemen government's eyes on Houthis in the north. UN treaty to protect extraordinary marine life due to come into force. Yep, that's coming out this weekend, guys. I've covered this in a short video, but this is a great news story. We'll probably cover this story on the Eco Flakes show, which is next Thursday at 8 o'clock. Myself and One Angry Pagan. Yeah, we'll probably cover this story then, because it'll come into force by then. So I'm pretty sure we'll touch on that story for you guys there. Oh, what a surprise, guys. Incumbent President Museveni takes strong lead in Uganda's election count. I did say this was going to be rigged one way, didn't I? He's credited with 72% in early results. Violence reported with opponents Bobby Wine under house arrest. Opponent has been under house arrest. That's definitely democratic. They live in fear, by the way, from this guy. They live in fear. Based on tallies from nearly half of polling stations, Uganda's Electoral Commission reported on Friday that a long-standing ruler of the Central African nation has taken 76.25% of the vote. Meanwhile, his main challenger, pop star turned politician Bobby Wine, had gained just 19.8%. 855. Let me read that again. My voice is going. 19.85% and was under house arrest according to his party as reports of violence began to emerge. His remaining votes were split among 6 under candidates the Electoral Commission has said. He's held the office since 1986, guys. This guy has held office longer than I've been born. I was born in 1988. Yeah, but it's definitely been a free and fair election, guys. Definitely free and fair election. Remember, people have to speak in support of him, because if they don't, they disappear. Trust me, it's not a free and fair election in any way, shape or form. Easy way or hard way, Trump issues new demand for Hamas demilitarization, but doesn't say anything about Israel, of course. Trump threatens the use of Insurrection Act in Minnesota, what it means there as well. Let's have a look at the Independent and see what they are saying there. Got about 5 minutes left here, guys. And they've got... oh, let me switch screen for you guys there. Jemrek will always be known as the Tory traitor, says Michael Gove. And what about all the others? Are all the others considered Tory traitors then? Union boss pictured with people singing pro-Russian chants in Ukraine. Bagonot brands Jemrek a liar in a blistering attack. Criminals in hospitals to lose benefits as Labour closes a loophole apparently there. No action against a Reform councillor over a threat to punch a colleague. A Reform Party councillor will face no disciplinary action despite being accused of threatening to punch a colleague right in the jaw. Kent County Councillor Peter Osborne was the subject of a formal complaint signed by leaders of opposition groups concerning a message he sent last autumn. The alleged threat emerged after a video was leaked showing Kent County Council's leader Lyndon Cameron shouting and swearing at fellow Reform members. On a WhatsApp group with dozens of councillors, Mr. Osborne wrote, "I'm hoping this mole is a bloke so I can punch him right in the jaw." Yeah, no disciplinary action. Oh, it's just a bit of... He doesn't mean it, guys. He's just saying it. You're just taking it too far. Nah, he's not meaning it. This is literally what Reform Russia are basically saying. He didn't mean it. He's just letting out his frustration and tension. Oh, really? Really? The Press Association has seen an email which states the KCC will take no further action over the complaint. The leader of the Liberal Democrats, the Greens, Labour, Conservatives and Independent Reformers on Kent County Council have all accused Mr Osborne of breaching the authorities' councillors' code of conduct. Yeah, because, remember, Reform doesn't care about rules. Reform Russia saw the complaints as vexatious, while opposition leaders have expressed disappointment and concern over the decision. In the initial complaint signed by opposition group leaders, they said Mr Osborne had breached the code of conduct, specifically carrying out an act of harassment or bullying, which includes intimidating behaviour. Okay, so it's also intimidating other people as well. The complaint read, "It appears to us self-evidently like other KCC members might have apprehended a risk of violence for Mr Osborne or would have been distressed to read this message." There it is, guys. There it is there. And look, and here's the worst part, right? This is in a Reform group. This is them with laughing emojis, guys. They think it's funny. They think it's funny to punch another person in the jaw. They think it's funny, guys. I don't know about you, but, you know, threatening to punch someone right in the jaw, I don't think it's funny, personally. There is a clear risk that this message will create hostile or intimidating environment. Yeah, because once you allow one message like this, you can allow it all the time to happen. So, yeah. Now, it means that he and other people will get, from Reform, will get constable to be able to get away with it, guys. That's what it means. Sadiq Khan warns AI could become a weapon of mass destruction of jobs. I'm sure we covered that story yesterday. Definitely not going mad. Got about 2 minutes left here. I don't know if we'll have time to look at other stories. Son of Brit couple held in Iran fears they have been abandoned by the UK. I said this before and I said this again. If you go to Iran and you have any kind of connection to the UK, you are putting yourself at risk. Like, you should not be going anywhere near that country whatsoever if you are a British citizen. I'm sorry. If you have a British passport, like, I'm sorry, like, you're asking to get kidnapped, you're asking to get held, you're putting yourself at risk. Just don't go to the country. Like, literally, don't go to the country. It's just not worth it. A Cold War nuclear bunker could be days away from falling into the sea. No! Oh my God, just a matter of days. People have been asking to avoid an area of coastline where a Cold War nuclear bunker clinging onto the edge of a cliff would be days away from falling into the sea. The building found above the Tunstall Beach in East Yorkshire is believed to have been built in 1959 as a lookout post in the event of a nuclear war. It is thought to have been decommissioned in the 1990s. Now, coastal erosion between Widsonsea and Horsesea, an area that the Environment Agency has said is among the UK's fastest eroding coastlines, has left the structure tearing off a cliff around 25 feet above the beach below. Yeah, that's really dangerous. Oh God. Amateur historian David Robertson is filming the final days of the bunker and told the BBC, "We live on one of the most eroded coastlines in Europe, and this bunker hasn't got long left. Perhaps just a few days. Photograph from recent days showed the bunker in precarious position, clinging to the eroding lift with little of the bank remains to support it. Like, I generally mean this. Like, if you're not going to save it, why are we not demolishing it? Like, why is the council not stepping in to demolish it? Like, you're allowing people to walk across here. Can you not see the danger here if someone's walking along here? Am I the only one that's thinking, you know what, maybe the council should do something? I'm just suggesting. East Riding East Riding of Yorkshire Council spokesperson said local authorities had no statutory responsibility to the building as it's on private land, but advised people to avoid the area around it. So it's on private land. Well, the council should do something. I mean, this is a danger. Someone could get hurt. It could fall at any moment. Council spokesperson told the Independent East Riding of Yorkshire Council does not have statutory responsibility connected to the structure. The structure sits on an area of privately owned land. Well, then talk to the guy who owns the land and do something. Don't just leave it there. Like, am I the only one here? Look, you're allowed, like, avoid the area. Like, people are not going to see that. Like, oh my God. It's just so thick. I'm sorry. Like, this is pathetic from the council. You should be doing something here. Demolition would be expensive and dangerous. Better just to let it fall and tell everyone to stay away. Well, put something around the area. Like, put signs or something. Like, because, like, I'm looking at this picture here. Like, where are there signs or warning signs or anything warning people about this danger? There's nothing. It only takes one idiot to walk past it, and when they least expect it, for it to fall on them. There's no common sense whatsoever. Okay, I understand the cost part of demolition it and whatnot, and it's on private land. But still, we're talking about people at risk here, you know? Yeah. Just the insane there. Thank you, Stephen Banker, for the for the coffee. Early birthday drink. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Yes, thank you for the birthday drink. much appreciated. Guys, we've gone over 12 o'clock. Yeah, so just want to remind you guys. So I'm going to try and record a premiere video for Sunday on my birthday for you guys. It will drop at around about 8 p.m. It's going to be, I'm going to try and get a bunch of funny videos and some good news videos and all that kind of stuff, you know, just to put together, I'll try and make it about an hour long if I can, for you guys. So something that for you guys, because I'm not actually going to be home until late on Sunday. So I wanted to record something for you guys on my birthday, but for that, guys. So yeah, I mean, it is annoying being demonetized, but that is the situation I am in. But obviously, if anyone wants to send anything to support me whatsoever, just buy me a coffee or join the Patreon. Do one of those two links are in the description. But thank you guys for all coming along. Thank you guys for all your comments. So many people turned out today. I really appreciate everybody coming out. Hope you guys found today's live stream interesting and informative and whatnot. Just before you go as well, a couple of other things as well. Phil Morehouse from Different Bias will be going live right now if you guys are interested in what he has to say about recent politics in the UK. At 1 o'clock, there is The Agenda with Graham Hughes and Phil Morehouse as well. If you guys are interested in that, that's on the Politics Social YouTube channel. At 5 o'clock, Daily Blase will be going live with Friday Frolics with a very fun, entertaining live stream there. I highly recommend it there. A. Thompson, I believe, goes live at around half 7 as well. So if you're interested in him, you can check out his YouTube channel. That's YouTube.com/A. Thompson. And hopefully, cross fingers, he didn't go live on Tuesday, but hopefully he'll go live tonight. Max Robertsby will be probably going live at 8:30 as well. So there's lots of YouTubers on tonight, guys. So do check out some of them if you can. I will be back live again on Monday at 11 a.m. as usual. So if you guys want to join me for that, please feel free to do so. But enjoy the rest of your weekend, whatever you guys have got coming. And before you head out, if you can for me, hit that like button, share this across social media, subscribe if you haven't already. Do check out some of my other links, such as Rumble and Patreon, where there's additional content on those platforms, exclusive on those platforms as well. And you can also find me on other social media platforms. And we have a free Discord community you can join as well. Link for all these things are in the description of this video. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.